Hello, YouTubers. It's me, Greg Martin again, HDM Law Comics and Investing, coming to you now. I'm starting a new segment called Look What I Found in My Garage. Um, as noted, I've been collecting, I've had a collection for a long time and decided to start going through it again to see, what's happening. Do my shout outs now. Shout out to Team CGC. Um, I think it's Jerry up in Canada. Shout out to Chino and Manny of R&R Comics in Houston. Chino Comics and More on YouTube. They're going to do an auction Wednesdays and Friday evenings. Please join it, really good. My fellow comic book collectors, Comic Book Flipping, Kevin Anderson, Comic Book Genius, Canadian comic collector Carlos Reyes, and a couple other guys that have just watched my videos. Thanks for coming. If you like what you see, please smash the like button and subscribe. Tell your friends we talk comics. So, one of the reasons I collected comics because I like superheroes. I like reading them. I like buying them, and I just like having them. I like watching, the animated stuff on TV, watching the movies. So comics become, big part of American culture. So I subscribe to it. So, I've got about 20, 21 long boxes in my garage, about 6 half boxes all around, all filled with comics. So, now it's like, well, I'll go through them every once in a while and take a look. So, one of the joys I have in this hobby is seeing people's comics, seeing what books they have, some of the stories around them, and that makes a big difference because it helps share. Because, like I say, when I started, I didn't know anyone else who collected comics. Had no idea. It was just me, and my collection just stayed in the closet, in the nice little in the garage, and only now do you start seeing people go online and share the books they have and talk about them. And so I said, okay, well, I'm finding some of these books and that I bought back in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and just read them, bagged and bought them, and put them away. Some I spec'd on a little bit, but it's interesting to see some of the stories. So when I go through them, I remember them. I'm like, okay, well, and there's an interesting story with it. So one of the things I've done is, I went through and find, you know, issues. I'm going, hey, I had no idea this was going to be this valuable. So, maybe I'll get a grade, maybe I not, maybe I won't. But so I said, one of the things is maybe people like to see some of the comics in my collection because I've gotten some decent feedback from some guys when they've seen my slabs and some other books that I have, and when I post them on Instagram and Facebook, I'll get some comments. Hey, like, see, so let's share some. So let's start off. First, Firestorm #1. I had no idea this book is worth what it is now. No idea. So, like I said, I was just in my garage an hour ago. Came back from running a couple errands. So I just said, let me just go through this long box here, see what I got. And I just picked through and pulled this out. I said, let me check this out. I don't know what this is going to be. Let me check this out. And come to find out, it's worth a pretty decent chunk of change when I bought it, for 35 cents. And here it is. So it's really good, really, really good condition. You don't really see any spine ticks whatsoever on it, So put in a nice new bag, new board. And we're going to send this one off. Not sure it's going to be June or July, but if it goes to June, hey, we'll see what comes back in. I anticipate a really, really good one. Now, these two, I don't know where I got them from. Can't remember when I got these, but I got them. One's a newsstand and one's a direct. They're not in really good shape. I don't think I'm going to get these graded just because it's not a key issue. It's not important. They're old. They're nice books, but think even if I got them graded, the best they would do is be like 8.5. So, and I'm not going to clean and press them. I'm not chasing. This is one of those things where I'll just keep, and if someone wants to buy it from me for a couple bucks, fine. I'll sell it because just another book I found. So now this classic X-Men #1. I remember when I bought this book because I've been collecting for a while, and what happened was when you had back issues, the thing that made them more valuable is people wanted to buy them because they wanted to read the stories. And so when they came out with Classic X-Men, this series, it meant that now Marvel is going, well, we don't want people to go to the secondary market and buy these books to read the stories again, because that makes us no money. So let's reprint the classic stories and put these out. And so that's when this came. And I remember when I was in Big Planet in Bethesda, and I saw this, and I went to Joel. I said, "What is this, Joel?" He says, "Yeah, this is what they're doing." And I said, "Man, you're killing me here. You're killing me. There's no reason for them to buy my back issue. Now they can get this for $1. $1." So back in the late '80s, that's what this was. Now, of course, since then you have the digital comics and all that stuff. So every story is available, trade paperbacks, all that stuff's available now. But this is what kind of started the X-Men thing, and I was just like, and we got some other Marvel Masterworks hardcover volumes that they did reprints, but that was Marvel's answer to this comic prices going up was, let's reprint some things and let people have the stories for $1. Thank you very much. But so I had this, and again in really good shape. So I don't know. It might go in the queue to be sent off to grade. I don't know. We'll see. Now, of course, X Factor number 24, the first appearance of Archangel. I liked Angel when he was just the blonde-haired guy with the wings. That's what I like. Then comes this, and I'm like, I'm not really feeling it. But because I collected X Factor, I bought every issue and read it, so I picked this up as well. So, this was in the, I found this. I was like, ooh, okay, because I found this. I was going through a box I was going to give to my niece's son, and I was just going through to make sure I didn't have any adult stuff in there or teen plus, because these things like 11 or 12, and I want to make sure I didn't have any teen plus stuff in there. And lo and behold, here this was. So and again, in really good shape. You putting these new bags are so much better than the ones I had 30 years ago. So nicer, crisper, make them look so much better. I'll tell you, if you want to improve your comics, put them in these MyLights. If they're really decent books and worth it, these MyLights are really, really good. So that's this one. Superior Spider-Man. I bought this because I got back into, I pull out for years and then I'll step in to see what's going on in the comic books and then pull out again. So I stepped in when Spider-Man 700, they're into that run. And I was really upset. I was like, you can't end Spider-Man's run at 700, but they said end the run. And they said he's going to come back in another one, Superior Spider-Man. And so I said, fine, I'll pick it up just because it's a Superior Spider-Man. And they're changing the person who's going to be him. I think this is supposed to be Doc Ock being in his body and him in Doc Ock's body. But picked this up, just the basic issue, no variant on it. I think I have one variant that is already out to CGC now. So we'll see what that comes back as. But have this. Might go in the queue. But again, in the garage. So now, Detective Batman Year 2, Part 1. Really nice cover, really nice book. Colors pop, nice image. but him holding a gun, which usually Batman never did. I want to say when this came out, this is kind of the first time you saw him holding a weapon or a firearm. Um, but nice book, nice comic book. Again, in really, really good shape. No real ticks, no real blemishes. But again, in the garage, found today. Deadpool, The Circle Chase. I got one of these from Manny and Chino in the auction and sent that off. I knew I had one. It was just a matter of finding it. It's just a matter. Eventually, in time, I will find it. And today, I found mine. And as you can see, you know, just really nice looking book. So this definitely has to go out and get looked at and graded and pressed. I think it's going to come back even better than the one that I got from Manny and Chino. But really nice book. Now, I collected a lot of DC and Marvel. That's my two main things. And I picked up this Flash, great cover, Flash #1, new Flash. And I just liked it, so found that. It's like I remember having it. It's just a matter of finding it. And so, again, stayed well even in the bag and board I had. And so now got a new one. Got this one. Put it. I don't know if I'll send it out or not. Just nice to have. So, Ghost Rider #1. I want to say the third series or something like that. But like I said, I remember, like I said, my collecting strategy with the time was I had my basic titles, and then I told them to give me all #1s. Any #1 that came out, put it in my box, and I would pick it up and just have it. Just because at the time #1s were the thing. You had other issues that came through in the middle, but in my investing, I said if having a #1 issue is going to be important in the line, so I got the Ghost Rider #1. He's caught fire now, so this is really etching up. And again, it's direct edition, but really good book. Stayed preserved really well, so no damage. So proud to have this one. So this may go in the queue. Batman: The Breaking of the Batman, a Bane key issue. Again, it was just in a long box, in the same long box as all the others, just sitting there. When I found it, it is a direct edition, not a newsstand, but a really good book. So I have one already out at CGC getting pressed, getting graded. So I'll probably send this one out as well, just because it is Batman getting beaten by Bane, and so important story arc. So we'll do that. This one, Darker Image, I was watching some video, and this popped up as one of the books that was really important, or something that you're supposed to get that could have some potential. I look it up and find that the newsstand edition is worth 10 times this direct edition. So you win some, you lose some. That's how it goes, And this one, nice book, nice cover, because it's Jim Lee, Liefeld. It's got some iconic people now. But I have the direct edition, so what can you do? World War Hulk #1. This is one of those where they start these new storylines, put a new issue out, and here it comes. Nice cover, not worth much, but it's a Ramita book as well. So just nice cover. So if you have it, great. But so again, in the garage in really good shape. So glad to have it. Batman: Battle for the Cowl #1. Again, I found this one in a comic book store in Silver Spring, Maryland. Again, just popped in, had some time, saw some stuff, and this is it. They were talking about, oh, this is the battle for the cow. Bruce Wayne's left, and so now who's going to take him over, and all that. So I'm like, okay, why are they going to get rid of Bruce Wayne? I have no idea, because he's supposed to come back old in Batman as the Dark Knight Returns in Frank Miller's series. Well, they changed that up in the writing. Fine, so Battle of the Cow. Apparently, this is a second print. Didn't know when I bought it, so got it here. So if second prints pop up, maybe this will do something. Who knows? But at the time when I bought it for, was it $1.99? Whatever it was. Oh, $3.99. I'm sorry, $3.99. So decent value. Just hold it and see. Put it in another box. Now, last book I want to bring out is this Frank Miller series for Daredevil, Man Without Fear. The reason I bring this up is because Frank Miller is doing this big signing with CGC, following the Todd McFarlane signing with CGC. And, I bring it up because Frank Miller books are hot. Because now people are grabbing these books and sending them in to get signed by him with CGC. Now, one of the things CGC wants you to do is you got to do a window for them to be able to sign. You got to create that. And then you got to send it in. And you got to pay whatever his fee is and $35. So now we're looking at, if you do the entire series, there are 5 books in the series, because you got this one, you got this really nice cover with Elektra on it. So I can't imagine doing the first one and not having the one with Elektra on it being signed, because it's a really nice book. And then you've got the third one, another great drawing with Daredevil and some off-white thing. And then you've got Kingpin on another cover, and these books lend themselves to be looking good. Great art in them, and you make good. I'd love to get them signed, but if you got this entire series signed, 5 books, at I don't know what his actual fee is, but I'm presuming it's going to be $100, because I think McFarlane's was that, or whatever it is. But even if you did that with $35, these books without it are just basic $3, $4 books. They may be higher now because they're Frank Miller, because of the signing. But that's an artificial creation of a demand because of a signing. But by the time you spend the money to pay Miller's fee, pay CGC's fee for hosting it, and then the shipping, you're looking at possibly $150 per book, which now for these 5 books is $750. There's just not enough value getting that thing signed, because then you're going to sit there and go, does this book with that signature equal $180 or $150? Not really. And the way autographs work in the market is that the more autographs there are out, the less valuable they become. Because as long as the person signing is alive, you can always get him. You just got to find where he is, go there, and get him. They become more valuable posthumously. So Frank Miller's around. He's been around a long time. He's going to be presumably around Knockwood much longer. So he'll be there. So for me, these signings just aren't worth it, because it may increase the value of books somewhat, but not to the extent of what you're going to spend getting it done. Now, if you want to do it because you love Frank Miller and that's who you want, and you want to keep it and have it displayed and never do nothing with it, fine, go ahead. But if you're doing it because you plan on trying to flip the book for money, it's not going to work for you. Specking books is really, really tough. Again, as I tell everybody, I'll probably try to do this tag on every every video. Um, this is a hobby. This is not a way to amass great fortunes of money. This is to be spent in using your disposable income. If you don't know what disposable income is, you need to take an economics course to find out, because that's what you should use on this hobby. Collect what you like, and then you'll never be disappointed. That's why I have the books I have, because I like the stories. I collected Daredevil. I collected Batman, Flash, um, all these. I collected them just because I bought them and I read them, and then took care of them and put them away for later use to be able to use it. And so that's what I did. So again, we'll do a series of videos as I find more stuff, bring it to you. Just so like I say, I enjoy the hobby. I enjoy finding these and going back through and remember the stories of them, and hope you enjoy them as well. Again, if you like it, please hit the like button, subscribe, because I try to do as many as I can, and hope you enjoyed it. So we'll see you next time. Thank you. Have a good day, good evening. I'm going to go to the auction tonight, cause some problems.